Hi everyone, it's Niamh here and welcome to my art journaling channel. Today I'm going to be doing creating some collage figures out of some different bits and pieces and using a page that's already been created in my book. Now if you've watched this previous video with the Frida Kahlo tissue, you will have seen this background on this page be created. So if you're interested in how I created that background, go back and watch the Frida Kahlo video and you'll see the other page being created at the same time. What I'm starting out with is I really loved that background. I didn't want to do too much to it to cover it up. So I'm using one of the Dina Wakley large faces stamps, which is very, very open. I stamped it onto the background just to get an idea of where I need to fill in. And now I'm re-stamping over the top of it to actually get the lines again. The reason for that is because I knew I wanted to add some extra colour onto her face, so I didn't want to have that busy background there. If I didn't want to do that step, I could certainly stamp her onto some paler paper and just collage her onto the background. That would work just as well. So from this, I'm using a piece from the Dina Wakley Collage Collective book, which is full of artworks from Dina Wakley that have been copied onto text paper, and there's a cardboard version the same, so you get two of each weights of paper in the book. You can see it's double-sided, so you choose which side you like, but I love that front cover bit. And I chose this bit because it really reminded me of the background, and while it kind of blends in, when I'm finished, hopefully it will stand out from the background. But I just love that pop of yellow, particularly with so many purples on the page. Having those contrasting colours really worked. So to colour in my image, I'm going in with some of the scribble sticks. So off screen, I'm water activating these and just spreading them out over the paint. So they work really well over the paint. You can see them sort of scribbling out there and getting that colour. And I'm choosing colours that I do have in the background. So I've got those sort of lime green colours, so I want to sort of bring that in. There's a little bit of that turquoise down in the body, so I want to again bring that in. I don't mind that it's crazy hair, it adds to the crazy page in the end. So once I finished playing around with the scribble sticks, you can see that on my cheek the pink was a little bit too watery and it's actually flooded out, and it's caused the the green to flood out too. Because I'm doing it on acrylic paint and that's already set, I can sort of wipe it off and then go back and fix it up. You've got that leeway, I suppose, by working on the acrylic surface. Now with the neckline, I wanted to add that pop of yellow that was down the bottom. I tried to do it with the scribble stick, but it didn't quite work, so I actually just used the straight paint. It's got a really fine nib on the paint, and I just drew out with the paint. It ends up being a bit like those 3D stickle pop-up paints that you used to get a long time ago, but once it's dried, it's fine. To get those really sketchy lines again, I've gone back in with Stabilo Oil Pencil just to again pop that figure out from the background. And while I was really happy with how the face turned out, I know I needed to go back in with the yellow and just put some of those black lines around that just to dull them down, because while I wanted them to stand out, they're standing out a lot, not really blending in with everything else. So with the heart shape, I tore that out of the leftover pieces that were on paper. That heart, if it looks familiar to you, a lot of the images in this collage collective are actually the original artwork for Dina Wakley's washi tapes. So they've got them in different sizes, which is really cool. So what I'm doing now is I want to put in this quote which says, "Stop thinking, start painting." But I didn't want it long like it was. So I'm just going in and inking up one word at a time, making sure I don't have any ink on the other page, words, and stamping it off in the background just to make sure it's nice and clean. Then I'm going in with one of her stamps from the I Want stamp set and sort of bending it, as you can see me kind of bending it around the curve of the figure, so it looks like I've got the writing going up the outside. And that was a really fun technique to do, which I really loved. It looked very organic, and I could have done scribbly writing there if I wanted to, but I had those stamps and the sentiment was perfect because it says I want to thrive, I want to learn, I want to grow, or something like that, and I want to thrive. And it just really sort of spoke to me on that page. So now I'm just going in, I want to put some white in that page, and I'm just priming up my white pen because it's been sitting the wrong way up in my little box of tricks. So I just need to prime it up. So I'm just going back in with the black, putting in some white lines. I always put in the whites of the eyes, even on stamped figures. I find it just helps pop them out from the page and becomes the focus of the page, particularly in this image, seeing there's only one eye visible. And now I'm just going in around the words just to sort of drop shadow them a little bit so they stand out from the background, and particularly the words around the side, it sort of pops them out from those scribbly lines at the body. It shows you that there's something going up there. It's not just black. Again, which I really like, just having a little bit of white on your page just cleans it up a little bit. The other thing I really love about this page is that piece of art that I've used in the body. When I did her Dina Wakely's class last year, I actually got a print of that original piece of artwork to hang in my studio because it says make a mess, and it really inspires me looking up on the wall and seeing that there. So it was nice to be able to incorporate that piece of art into my journal. So I decided her lips weren't quite red enough, so I'm just going back in with my scribble stick to redden those, drying it off, and that's the finished page. And I'm really pleased with it. I'm glad I stopped myself because I kept looking at the background thinking I need to do something, maybe do some writing or something else in the background, and I didn't quite get there. Sorry, excuse me, I was just taking some photos of my work at the end. So this is a close-up of the page. You can see the really interesting background happening there, and again, if you're interested in how I made that, go back to the Frida Kahlo tissue one. But this is the end result. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye for now.